favorite films, dude.
Notebook.
Dude.
I love that movie. You would. I'm a hopeless romantic.
You got the first part right.
Bro, I was the only kid like middle school for high school when everyone was a kid. I was like a grandpa kid. I'm like 4 kids.
I saw them filming that movie in Charleston when I was in college, and I don't know why you think it's such a great movie. Like it's again, I would never want to spend time watching these movies again. To me, actually being on Clown House, recording my ugly bald head on YouTube, is like me doing what they do and me not wasting my time, even though I know it's a wasted time. I'm just saying that movies, if you calculate the total number of hours that you have spent consuming movies and that opportunity cost lost, it's unbelievable how much time, it's unquantifiable what could have been achieved if it wasn't for the mass hypnosis and commercialization of pictures.
Yeah, but it's art, and I would recommend, and this is probably what I'll do for the rest of my life, is I don't want to watch any more than maybe 5 movies a year, new movies, but I want to go back and watch the classics that I might have missed, which there's not a lot of them, because I'm pretty big into film, and there's a lot of shit that I've seen. When it comes to the AFI Top 100, there's like 4 or 5 left that I haven't seen. Eventually I'll get around to that. Some of the Kurosawa films are things that I'll probably visit at some point because people, say that you gotta watch them. So I'll go check them out. But there's movies that I watch over and over again. Like every year I'll go to the theater and I'll say It's a Wonderful Life. There's just different times of the year when I'm watching movies. My very favorite film of all time is Night of the Hunter with Robert Mitchum. I think that's one of the best movies ever made. Tom Browning's Freaks.
Wait, I gotta ask you a question about that movie. When that old lady shoots at him and he runs off hooting and hollering, is he just being like crazy, and funny? Like he's demented. He's so demented. It's like, I don't know. It's a terrifying and strange movie.
Yeah, I think it's must watch. And Robert Mitchum's Cape Fear. If anybody's ever seen Scorsese's directed Cape Fear with De Niro and Nick Nolte, if you thought that was good at all, you should go see the original Cape Fear with Robert Mitchum. It's Gregory Peck, I think. Much better film. Robert Mitchum plays crazy better than anybody that's ever played crazy.
I don't know. Do you ever dislike the fact that everything you've watched is just a clone of a former version of it, and the original does seem to be, better, or if not as good as the new one, like Cape Fear, for example? Do you ever think how could this be that there's nothing new or original? I mean, it's business. It's a business formula. It's obvious that you just want to copy what's already been successful because you got historical data and you can, this is a good bet. So
there are some exceptions to that, though, right? Like Wizard of Oz has been adapted a bunch of times. A lot of people think that the 1939 Judy Garland version of Wizard of Oz is the first one to ever make it to film, and it's not. And so, but that was far superior to the to the earlier ones. So I do think that Batman's another one that I would say Christopher Nolan's interpretation of Batman is better than what let's say Tim Burton did, in my opinion. But no, I take the point. I will say this: people hate when I say it. You guys are gonna hate when I say it, but I think that the movie is usually better than the book. I know people like to say that the book is always better than the movie, but if you've ever read Mario Puzo and then you watched The Godfather, or if you were to have read Wise Guy by Nicholas Pileggi and then watch Goodfellas, specifically in the gangster genre, the books, they're boring. They're boring books, but then they make these great films.
Really, I like Puzo's Godfather. I thought that book was a lot of fun, because it really gave you a deeper insight into mafia or the extent of the power of the Godfather. I thought it was a fun book.
I think the only value that I really took out of it was the character that they build up, that they don't build up properly in the films, which is Al Geary. I think that he's probably the most underappreciated character from any of the films, and he was consistently fucking loyal. He was a good, yeah. Anyways, Al Geary.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think, you're born penniless and you die penniless. So, with regards to human behavior and the advent of the picture business, humans have been obsessed with recording themselves and publishing their pictures, their videos, their creativity. So what I'm trying to say is the economy, careers, business, life in general, as they like to say here on Clownhouse, at the end of the day, everybody's literally just an actor. And it's a question of, if every man and every woman is a star, it's a question of your picture business in a way. I'm just trying to say that humans seem to be obsessed with creating videos and watching videos.
This is true, but here's something that I've given thought to, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinion, is you said that people are essentially actors. I think the people that go through life where it's kind of scripted for them, whether they live in a family where they're forced to go to church and then they go to work for doing a job they don't like to do. I think those type of people are actors, and then there's that smaller group of people that actually are authoring the activities that happen in their life, and they're proactively writing the script of their life and directing it. And so my advice to people would be the writer and director of your life and not the actor that's just reciting lines.
Well, I just want to add one more thought, is that technically prior to the internet and databases and digital storage, movies and pictures, people, because all those things are now digitized now, everybody in the 20s, 30s, and 40s technically uploaded themselves to the internet in the 20s and 30s, without knowing that there would be this internet. So I'm just saying that storage of memories or memory storage through pictures and videos, it seems like that's what's lasting. And the fact that we are now rehashing or redescribing all of our memories and all the movies we've ever seen in our critique of it, it does seem that pictures and movies are always going to be the thing for human behavior, activity, and consumption.
It's because stories tell, but videos sell.
Do you think it's possible? I like that saying. I'm gonna write that one down. It's true. Do you think it's possible though that the future conversations down the road on social audio, when people gather in the future to talk about things, that reparations will be discussed for people's likenesses that had been exposed and exploited, and that you have a whole new generation that are fighting for reparations because of the exploitation and the unpaid labor of actors that that didn't get to profit properly from these moving pictures. I think it's possible that reparations will cover some of these stars that didn't get paid for the fame that they're going to achieve in the future. Specifically, people like Orson Welles. As long as people continue to say that Citizen Kane is the best movie, which is not, it's not even his best movie. Touch of Evil is, but yeah, I think there's a reparations conversation coming for these actors.
Oh, okay, though. Orson Welles doing War of the Worlds.
Yeah, he's a fat guy reading to a dumb public,
Which
more so.
it was amazing what happened with that. They didn't announce anything before or after, and they created an actual canon just by his voice telling them that reading this actual comic book for the world.
But that was unintentional. I think what we lived through in 2020 and beyond, where it's intentional.
No, that was
the intentional panic. I mean, the pandemic was really War of the Worlds, but with intentionality.
I didn't look at it that way, but well spoken.
Let me ask one more theory. Do you think America's decline or economic output or industrial productivity declined as a result of like an increase in a media creation and consumption curve? Because our mass distribution and our greatest export really has to be probably considered Hollywood, the movies and the music. And that influence and huge revenue driver for Los Angeles, Hollywood, New York City, etc. What I'm trying to say is now that everybody has a cell phone to create their own movies and consume their own creations or consume all the shit that gets pushed onto you by the algorithms, what I'm saying is America will never ever come back to a state of manufacturing, expansion again, because the desire to consume digital information is so powerful that distraction requires everybody to be constantly looking at their cell phone. No one will ever start making shit in this country again because the addiction to cell phone usage is that strong.
It is very strong, but we have an AI revolution coming, and we have a robotics revolution coming in less than 3 to 5 years. So that is going to be a wave that will make us more productive, but maybe not more employment, for sure. So there's a huge sea change coming there that people really are going to have to digest. And we'll see about production.
I think you guys are mentioning some really interesting shit. I'll show you a dumb theory that I came up with. You guys probably know I'm a wrestling fan. And I was thinking about the decline of Western civilization, and more specifically the U.S. After the fall of the Soviet Union, right? Between World War II and the collapse of the Soviet Union, there became this era where there was no competition. There was no other superpower. And if you go and look at pro wrestling, the best times to watch pro wrestling was when there was competing interests. For example, in the 70s, they had a territory system, and they weren't necessarily competing, but they all had their own products, and they was thriving locally. There was massive matches going on all the time. Like in some markets, like in Dallas, Texas, they were doing wrestling every day, and then the big show was on a Friday night. And if you go into the 90s, which was the last big boom era of pro wrestling, WCW, owned by Ted Turner at the time, had put a lot of money into it. And they, for 83 weeks in a row, they beat WWE in the ratings. 83 weeks in a row, they were the winner. WWE was on the ropes. And then what happened was, after getting their ass kicked for 83 weeks in a row, that competition fueled them. And that's when they came out of that 83-week slump with people like The Rock and Stone Cold and the whole Attitude Era, and it became the biggest boom. That merchandise, it sold more than all the other stars combined. No, like Rock, Hogan, all those guys combined don't touch the money that was made by Stone Cold. And so I think the decline of Western civilization is the fact that we don't have a true competitor, and so we make these things up like, oh, well, we're competing with China. China doesn't have they're building a navy, but those ships can't even fucking cross the ocean. I think that what we need is a real competitor, and I'm hoping it's not China, because I don't want to fight them. I'm actually hoping that India gets off their ass and because they've got a big population and they've got a lot of good engineers and whatnot. I'm hoping that India can have the aspirations to say, we're going to be the country that's going to push us into the next century. And that might be the spark that we need to get competitive again. I think the lack of real competition, like having somebody that truly is an equal to us in some way, shape, or form would motivate. The Soviets would, that whole space race shit, that was fucking great for everybody involved. It made us innovate. We need, I think, I'm hoping it goes down is that China, India, a few other countries make some advancements in AI that freak us out, and that we fucking just turn it into like, this is our fucking mission, this is our ride or die, we must fucking win at all costs, and then we win the AI race. And then when we do that, then boom, land of milk and honey again.
Would be nice. I mean, in drone and in solar, China's ahead. We're not doing the right things to put us in the position that you're hoping for, but we'll see.
See, now this, you may call this philosophical, but I do believe that the now is all important. And so if you think that there's this moment in the future of winning something called the AI race, it's still in the now. And so what I'm saying is that there's a 99.9% chance that the status quo right now is gonna be the status quo in what we call the theoretical future. It's my opinion.
But is the now like actually now? Because if it's actually now, then it's a few seconds.
There's
ago,
only,
because
literally, if there's no past, there's no future, there's no now.
I think there should be a spectrum of now. Like maybe like a range from 5 minutes ago to 5 minutes in the future. I think we can define that as now. I think that would be a better definition of now.
The point is, when you search the experience of what now means, it really means that the real can only be now. Therefore, you're living in a compression of the past and the future. And that's why I say the status quo in the future will probably be what it is right now.
I'm gonna kind of agree with the whole 5 minute past, 5 minute future, a little bit of time. You're actually alleviating the quality of time in everything you're saying. Your quality of time may be negated, but there are moments in time that are suspended in our memory. There is just those moments that can be forever and always, but can be something we don't think about again. I think you're maybe discounting that aspect.
Plato said everything between birth and death is now. Actually, I just made that up.
I think that should be the new move. Try every room, try to like make up a quote of your own and attribute it to somebody and see if anybody can call you out on it. Just once a day, just absolutely.
People already do that all day. No, me though, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty.
Just words.
Kind of like concrete, Roger.
Salvatore.
I don't know. The real quotes are pretty crazy. Like, Ben Franklin, beer makes everybody happy.
There's some truth to the real quotes, like one of my favorite, which is very apropos for Clubhouse, is all I know is I know nothing, Socrates, but I can get the philosophical message there. It's like you
It
can't
all so
possibly.
great.
Yeah, like no one can know everything, but is it really possible? You know
Oh,
everything?
but you have to hear the
Can you
concept
know?
of it with a big fuck you, by the way.
can you know nothing though?
Moose, I have that Socrates quote tattooed on my left arm. It says, "I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing." How,
That is the correct.
however,
Luce,
you got to realize
you asked if somebody could know nothing.
in
I
that
think water-
in that statement,
water probably does that pretty
in that statement, Socrates says, "I know the no thing, which is the nothing." So, what is the nothing? That is technically God.
Hey Roger, have you ever asked Water about his PTR? What it means? How he can't explain what it means?
No, I don't ask him any questions. All I know is like if you show up in like rooms with like people like Patty and other lefty retards, he's like in there and he's like there's people in this room that we just tolerate because they've been around for a while. That's the way they put up with him. Like I just sit in the audience and I'm just like, oh, they're retard.
So wait, PFC Ekron, why are you standing like that with your left arm jutted out? And why is there a black strip over your eyes that says Afrikaans Nazi? Like, can you explain this incredibly stupid PTR of you? I assume that's not actually you. That you wouldn't be that
it's the guy
stupid.
from the Oklahoma National Guard who immigrated to the United States from South Africa.
And he joined the army or the National Guard. I mean, so wait, Water, explain yourself.
Citizenship, John.
Water, why don't you just give us a quick little brief bio about yourself? Or not. Never mind. Thank you very little. Please proceed.
Well, I guess if he's asleep, Roger, you should probably move him down to the audience.
I'm charging my phone.
Well, wisdom comes from above. So, I mean, go ahead, give us a little bit of a bio about yourself, Dr. Water.
What's going on?
We want to know what your PTR, why you say
No, we don't want to know. No, we don't.
we don't care about any of
That's not what we want to know. Hold on. If we're gonna get water,
Speak for yourself.
if we're gonna get water to contribute in any way, I just want to know, Water. Like, did you vote for Kamala Harris and why?
No, I did not. I don't subscribe. No.
Who'd you vote for?
I don't subscribe for the past two elections.
What do you mean you don't subscribe?
It's not a Twitter account or something you subscribe to, Dr. Water.
That's what it feels like, to be honest. The Electoral College. I mean,
Water,
now
do you live in West Virginia?
Yeah, I do.
Is anybody in your immediate family fucked their sister?
No, not to my knowledge.
Water, if we were to make you king of America or king of the world, what would you do for we the people? Thank you, Dr. Water.
I would abolish the crown altogether. I would represent 51% of this population, which are women, in our administration, in Congress and Senate, the House of Representatives. I would do a lot of basic need shit. I would give us our universal basic income. And when I say I mean I would usher in the inevitable. Ramp up automation all the fucking way. I could go to
The United States government currently is spending $7 trillion, which is $2.5 trillion worth of taking in taxes. You're asking for EI, how in the world are you going to pay for that?
Oh, it's simple. Just like you said, where's all that fucking money going? All you have to do is manage those funds correctly, and we'll be able to budget it in easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Where the federal government sticks money, the biggest expenditure is social welfare programming. It is Social Security, it is disability insurance, it is Medicare.
Yeah.
It chews up 2.5 to 2.75, approaching $3 trillion. The second expenditure in the federal budget is interest on our $37 trillion debt. The third line item in our budget is on military, which ranges anywhere from $750 to $950 billion a year. The fourth expenditure is everything else. That's Pell Grants, that's foreign subsidies,
That's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That's everything else. So if we already currently spend...
Are you including
Wait,
APAC?
Just wait till I'm done with the question.
Okay.
If we currently spend
Marshall, pause. Sometimes the retards bring up something that we should consider. He said, "What about APAC?" So, Water, go ahead.
What about
it?
APAC?
No, hold on, Water. Make your point. What's your grievance with APAC?
No, I don't have any grievance with what Marshall's listing unless
No, we're not
he
talking about what
excludes-
Marshall just said. No,
It's all related. I just want to know why he's excluding APAC in the government assistance programs.
Well, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna organize this conversation a little bit. Water, what is your position about APAC? You like them? You hate them? You're indifferent to them? Talk to us.
Oh, it's fine as long as they don't cut
It was
the
great
American
listening.
benefits.
Calling
I
out
believe that the
slipping.
American benefits should come first before anything. So if we're going to cut anybody's benefits, APAC should be cut first and foremost, should we not?
Wait, you're complaining about the money. That's your business.
Hold on, Marshall. Hold on. I've got a thread to tug on. So, Water, I just want to take this bit by bit. What made you, when Marshall was listing all of these expenditures, what caused you to think about a lobbying group? Like, what was it that made you mention that?
Well, he's going to bitch and moan about everything. Might as well include APAC, right?
Right. So hold on. What is your grievance with APAC?
I'm not. He's the one bitching and moaning. I'm just saying, you got to be fair.
Literally not funded by the federal government.
Stop, Marshall, hold on. We're gonna get somewhere. Water. So he listed all these expenditures, and then you, like a retard with Tourette's, just shouted out, "What about APAC?" And I'm just curious, what inspired you to even
AK,
think
otherwise known
of this?
is the Roger
Like, because
movie.
we're cutting domestic aid. We're cutting our own, birthright social services. And if we're going to go one step further, I think now is the time more than ever to consider owning our money, just like West Africa is doing by cutting the umbilical cord.
Okay, so pretend I've never heard of APAC, and pretend and you know what? Some of the people in the audience have maybe never heard of it. So, in your opinion, what is APAC and what do they do?
It's foreign aid to Israel. It's basically creating social services for Israel, which is completely fine. I have no issue supporting any nation that is asking for help, as long as they don't commit genocide and war crimes around the rest of the world. I'm completely fine if they're a good neighbor.
Interesting. So hold on. So my question then would be: so Marshall is going through Medicare, Social Security, interest on the debt, military spending, and then so you then said, "What about APAC?" And now what we're learning.
First I said before that was the budget.
Hold on. And then I asked you, okay, well, what is APAC? And so the thing, when we're talking about the holistic budget, the thing that you zeroed in on was a lobbying called APAC. And so then I asked, I think, a fair question, hey, what's APAC? What are they all about? And then your response was, oh, it's a lobbying group, protects the interests of Israel, which, by the way, that's not what it is. In fact, it's not a foreign lobbying group at all. It's an American lobbying group. And so my question is, why did you mention that? Is it because it's Jews? Does that have anything to do with why you mentioned it?
No, it has everything to do with our social
because
services.
you also mentioned genocide, which isn't true in the same sentence.
Yeah. So
Who said that?
You mentioned genocide.
Didn't you see Superman? I'm not the only one talking about it.
So, look, some of these people are fucking retarded. it's good that we get them to talk out loud every once in a while, but this is the way their brain works. You're in a normal conversation talking about government spending, and then his mind just radically drifts off into like those fucking Jews, and this is the way the left thinks about things. Not to say that there's not anti-Semites on the right. So those of you that are from the tribe, I know the haters are everywhere, but the lefty Jew haters are a particularly weird bunch. They isolate their criticism about some very funky things. They make up lies. They talk about words they don't understand. I'll bring this retard back up. I'd love to get his definition of what genocide is. I don't think he'll have a very clear, he doesn't want to come up. Maybe we'll send the invite and see what happens. But if anybody else that thinks that there's a genocide going on anywhere in the world, because I would imagine that you guys are so knowledgeable about the conflict there, you probably know about other conflicts as well. It's amazing, though, just how obsessed people are with this.
You know, he also said that
What's the weirdest? You know what the weirdest thing to me is? We don't even fund AIPAC. The United States government doesn't give any money.
Well, he called it social services, which technically is not, totally inaccurate.
What? No, it's utterly and completely inaccurate. The United States government does not give any money and a line item.
Dude, we're talking about Israel here. They are the lobbyist organization on behalf of American Jewry for Israel.
Water went off on a tangent about. He went off on a tangent.
He's an idiot, but we reverse engineered his stupidity.
Spent money on AIPAC.
We get it, Marshall. We know he's a schmuck.
What you do every year is fund foreign aid. And the Israelis get about $3.5 billion a year. Water, just so you know, that makes up less than 1% of overall federal spending. My point to the original conversation, sketching out how much money we spent, was we already spent the majority of money on ourselves. This idea that we can somehow have a universal basic income is just utter.
Marshall, let me ask you a question, Marshall.
It only makes sense if you believe in modern monetary theory and you believe in the idea that money grows on trees and it never has to do anything. Because if you rearrange the federal government to do any of what you're talking about,
Marshall, do we have to have the most boring version of this conversation? Why can't we invite this guy back up that hates Jews, get him to describe to us what genocide is, and then make fun of him for what an idiot he is? Like, isn't that what this app is really for?
Yeah, Roger, one thing I was going to mention with Water. So what Water likes to do is he likes to jump down in the chat after you kick him, and then just blast the fucking chat. And the only way that you can get him back...
No, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to give you permission to do something here, Rich. Everything that he types into chat, just quickly delete it, and then his only choice will be to come back up here and face the fucking people.
Well, actually, Roger, I have an easier way, so I don't have to wear out my fingers. You just threaten that he has 10 seconds to get off stage, or he can be kicked from the room, and then all his chat's done.
We don't need to do that. All I got to say is that this guy, you know how stupid those lefty rooms are? This guy is the dumbest guy in those rooms. The dumbest guy in those rooms. It's fucking crazy. I mean, I don't even know how we would have an equal for him to have a debate with. I'm trying to think who's stupid. Maybe we can get a debate between him and Victoria, which, by the way, I don't think Victoria is stupid. I think Victoria is just a liar. She's
Dr. Mojo, I got a question for you. Is it hypocritical to want to...
Hold on. Can you ask me one? I'd
like to ask you a question, Mojo.
Go right ahead, fire away.
So, is it hypocritical to want to drastically cut federal spending in Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the national interest on the debt, and the NDAA and defense, but also still want to even increase funding to Israel?
Because we get money back that way.
No, I'm saying, what I'm trying to point out is, if there's one country in the world that I think America should support and should give even more support, is the state of Israel. Is that hypocritical to think that way?
Hypocritical, no, because we should be allowed to determine our priorities. I personally don't like federal aid, foreign aid at all. I don't like corporate welfare. I don't like social programs like Medicare or Social Security. I want to cut all of that stuff. But I would have a packing order for it. What I would start with is foreign aid. But I would start with the enemies of America. Cut off their aid, like giving $6 billion to the IRGC, for example. That should never happen. We should cut off foreign aid to our enemies, then cut off the aid to people that we're neutral with, and then draw down the spending gradually all the way down to zero, even with our allies, because a rich nation like Israel, they can buy these weapons. And I have to tell you, many of my friends that are in the tribe, many of my friends that are in Israel, they totally agree with me. But here's the reason why, the fundamental reason why I don't think the U.S. should give the funding. And the way that we give the funding is in a voucher. They use the voucher for buying weapons. I think they can buy the weapons themselves. If we want to put them on a payment plan, that's fine, but I think they should pay for them. The reason why I don't think we should gift them is because then we want control of the decisions that they make, and I don't think the U.S. is in any position to make those decisions. I don't think that we have the backbone to be able to make the kind of decisions that they need to make. It's an existential threat that they face, and I don't think any foreign influence, including from an ally such as the U.S., because let's be honest, we're opportunistic and transactional about this as well. And so I think for the long-term viability of Israel, I think it's in their best interest to not have any nation state influencing how they defend them.
Hey, Roger, I was going to mention Alex on stage. I'm not familiar with the person, 12 followers, but they do have an Afghani room, so maybe they want to chime in here.
An Afghani room?
Yeah, they have an Afghan room. That's one of the rooms they're subscribed to, but they only have 12 followers, so
What do they talk about? Like goats or opium?
I guess like Bachabazi boys and stuff. What's up, Alex? Welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much.
This is
Hopefully everyone's good.
How do you
Spit it
feel
out.
about the subject?
Look, if you've got something interesting to say it.
Like what?
Okay. All right.
About the state of Israel.
No, he failed the test. He failed the test. Look, if he's really eager to look, when you fucking get up here and you unmute yourself, be ready to speak. You hear that people are talking. You see that I'm cranky about shit. Why don't you get up here and do the fucking long introductions? Fucking boring.
Yeah, tell us if you love Jews or hate Jews. That's all we want to know.
No, how about this? How about we stop talking about it? Like, look, whether you love Jews, whether you hate Jews, the obsession with Jews is fucking weird. It's weird.
Well, no, he just came up during the conversation about Israel, so I assume.
I hear what you're saying, but you want to have the conversation. I'll entertain it to expose them, so then people could choose.
Yeah, that's what I like doing.
Because they're genocidal weirdos, but. It's weird.
I love when they come up and they're like, "Fuck Israel, fuck Zionists, fuck them steaks." I love it.
Did you?
No, I don't love that at all.
Did you?
It shows everybody. So it shows.
Rich, I don't love that at all. And the fact that you love that is a little fucking weird. Well, we should. It is. It is. Look, I'm not picking on you, Rich. I'm just saying that, if we want to ever get past this, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to stop obsessing about the Jews. Why is it, you guys are all jealous of them? You go, some people hate them, some people are just envious of them, which is a different way to show your hate. And just leave them be. Leave them be.
I understand what you're saying, but, when these people do, like you said, the exposure aspect, when they do come up and they're like, well, I want to fucking kill all the Jews. Then people come around and they're like, oh shit, maybe I should look into this and realize the Jews aren't the bad guys here. And, it's these fucking murderous demon pigs. The Muslims. That's all.
Yeah. Hold on, real quick. I don't want to have the same fucking conversation that we've had for the last 2 weeks. all it's going to do is make me angry, and then I run the risk of getting clipped or beheaded because I say that the Prophet Muhammad fucked a 9-year-old girl and he's a fucking pedophile, and 2 billion people that worship this guy are a bunch of fucking creeps. See, I say these things, and you guys laugh when I say it. Eventually, you're going to get the news that Mojo's been beheaded, and then where are we at? Like, what did we get out of this? Well, like, I'm going to get beheaded.
You know what I thought about? He might come up and be like, actually, I'm an atheist and I think, I support Israel. So maybe there's hope.
Okay, can we change the subject before I get beheaded?
I created a room earlier today called In the Muff, and it wouldn't let me create the room because it considered the word muff to be profanity. And
that is why all the words run together. That's the only way I was able to.
Oh, I see. Anyways, I just wanted to say I do find it amazing how long this room has been going, and also the fact that there are 1.2 thousand, chats. Like, that's a fucking, what a killer show today, dude. Unfucking believable.
So, Alex, you're back on stage.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you're talking about the Israel, like early, the one gentleman, they asked a little bit of disrespect to Muhammad, but this is their own choice. Whenever I'm a Muslim, I respect every religions, every color, every...
Would you mind if I ask you a question? Of
course, why not?
Okay, well, you said that you thought that was offensive. Is it true that Aisha made the claim that she was 6 years old when she married the Prophet, and she was 9 years old when he fucked her? Am I making that up, or is that true?
Okay, no, here is the actual thing when happen is different. Here's the people when they think is different, because when we talking with the...
Rich, I blame you for this.
Okay, yes, that's correct. It's happened. That's fine. Totally, I'm agree with you. When we talking with the scholars, like the Islamic scholar who they have deep study on that one, we ask them, hey, how can possible to 9 girl goes to 60 or 50 years, at that time. But they said, to these girls, God give you a strength. Now is a girl over 18 is, allowed to do something. But at the times, God gave strength for this girl when she was 9 years old. Then for Muhammad, as a wife at that time. But most of people, they're thinking, 9 girl, the 50, because this is 1,000 years ago is happened. But still people, there is a little bit for them is shock, everyone ask, especially with Muhammad and
so
Muslim society.
Alex, let's get to the point. Do you think she was old enough?
Okay, at that time, God.
Do you think she was old enough?
Okay.
Yes or no?
No. From my perspective, right now, I'm saying not. But at that time, 1,000 years ago, God gave you strength for this 9 years old girl. Because when we talking with the scholar, before I mentioned, to who is deep studying in Islamic, we ask them, hey, how can possible that 9 years old girl with the 50 or 60
Alex, we heard this already. You're repeating yourself, sir. What do you mean by God giving her strength? What does that mean to you?
Okay, Prophet Muhammad is a messenger from the God, God can do everything. We're not gonna say, okay, we not agree because God is fine this world. If we're talking about that, God can do that, God can do that. And that times, God, when we heard from the scholars,
What does she need strength for?
Okay, strength that for the dating. At that time, when she is she is accepted as a wife. When she was 9 years old.
Wow.
Only I study, but rest of I don't have exactly information before say why it's happened that she is 9, she's perfect for that.
Alex, you know what? Look, I'm going to just tell you shut the fuck up. And it's not because you're defending the
Our
pedophile. It's
victim.
because this accent is driving me up my fucking wall. I cannot do this accent, not one more fucking word of it. Can you please just chat, just type out shit in English and just listen to people speak English? Maybe you'll get it down. Tomorrow you can try it again. But right now, you are fucking killing me with this accent.
What the hell is going on? What's the matter about my pronunciation
Alex.
and my speech? What?
Sir,
What's the problem?
sir,
Why
listen.
hate with my pronunciation?
Sir, listen to Necro here on stage. He speaks perfect English. I think you need to open your ears and listen to the world famous Necro. He's one of our best English speakers here in America.
Okay, English is not my native language, okay? English is not my native language. But English is your native language. Because this is not good. You say, okay, your pronunciation is not. Here is 100 people, they have different pronunciation, but you will be not saying, oh, your pronunciation is not like black people, they have one pronunciation, white people, they have one pronunciation. You cannot say like that kind of.
Hey, don't start talking about my people now. Don't start talking about my people. Just because, look, you got to get the English language down a little bit better to be able to participate. It's a stage, it's an audio app. We're trying to communicate in our native tongue. If I went to your room where you guys are fucking talking and I jump into that conversation, you're probably not going to like my American accent.
Who? I'm American. Who said I'm Americans? Who can tell me you are not American? Why you tell me like that? You are American, I'm not American? No, Americans. Why somebody told me like that?
Alex, what is the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution?
Okay, I have American passport. I came to here 2016. I'm working for the U.S. Army 2008 to 2017. I service for these three nations. How can possible somebody told me?
What you do in the army? Were you a translator for ghosts?
Yeah, 2008 to 2017. I did multiple jobs. I was a laborer, I was a mechanic, I was an interpreter. I done for 9 years job for this country. I'm injured 3 times, bomb blast. But now somebody told me, hey, you're not American, I'm American. No, I'm proud of I'm American. Nobody can tell me that, oh, you're not like that. This like discriminations.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying.
So, Alex, which country is the best country in the whole world? Is it America?
Well, rather than America?
Yeah, what's your favorite country on the planet, Alex?
Okay. My eyes right now, the only best country without politician, like politician, blah, 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 blah. That's everybody.
No, hold on, Alex.
Yeah, for the freedom.
No, Alex. I'm going to reframe the question that was just asked to you. Okay. Do you believe that Israel is the greatest country on planet Earth?
Okay. Israel, like when they're fighting with Palestine, this is their own issue. But I respect them, whenever they're doing anything. Especially, like I'm from Afghanistan. I have to be say like that. We not hate with, we not hate with Israel. Why I hate with Israel? Israel not killed me. Israel not threat us in the whole country. Because Iran is my neighbor country. Iran kill us. Iran destroy my country. Especially when the war between happened, our whole Afghanistan 50 million people.
I gotta say, I like them a lot.
Yeah, of course. 40 million people. Yeah, 40, the whole is 15 million population Afghanistan. 40 million.
Alex, pause. You're winning back the audience. This is like Gladiator. You're winning over the crowd. Go ahead, continue.
Entertained.
Okay. 40 million people, they like Israel. We especially, I prefer the Israel to kill them. Those motherfucker people, I'm sorry to use the words.
Yeah.
Because, Okay, Iran, Iran.
Hold on. This is a big moment. Hold on. This is a big moment. Watch this, everybody. Just watch the screen. Look at this. Look at the screen. Look at that. You earned your mod badge. Look at that.
Oh my God. Yeah, I like. We love you, Alex. We're saying we love you, Alex.
I've never seen a transformation like this.
Okay, like
4 years
what
ago.
I'm saying,
Alex,
you know?
2028.
Okay, what I'm saying, you know? Okay, like if I say, okay, Palestine is a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, oh, I do that. Yes, that's fine. But over there, the fighting is not for the religion, the fighting for the benefits. Okay, if my brothers have a problem with the benefit with me, I'm gonna fight with my brother also, because everyone their own benefits. Over there, like most of time, you know, the Muslim world, oh yeah, they're gonna do the blah 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 blah. Yeah, maybe sometimes the mistake Israel, you know, blah 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 blah. That's they should be not do that. But at all, we not hate it. Yes, against Iran, we support Israel. And especially, I'm in America right now. In the another days, I was in another space. They told me, hey, why you support Israel, blah 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 blah. I'm saying, if Israel they have threat our country, they kill our country, you know, like people, then I'm gonna say I hate you now. They did it, you know. But now we
Alex,
fully support
could you
Israel.
maybe give us a compression or a summary, or what would you do if you were king of the world? What would you do for we the people?
For who people?
If you're the king of the world, what would you do to fix the world?
Oh, okay. If I'm the king of that world, okay, yeah, I take China leaders, Russia leaders, American leaders, Xi Jinping, the another 5-6 leader I bring to the table. I tell them, what the hell is going on? What are you doing? Stop the war. Please, like, get the life like a brothers. Don't fight each other. If you fight each other, I'm sorry to say, I want to kick ass everyone's. Why are you fighting each other? You know, like say, you blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I want to say like
lead
that.
the Democratic Party now. I think you could be the head of the Democratic Party if you run for office.
He said you should be the president, Alex. That's what he said.
Me, yeah, now is in Afghanistan. If I honestly tell you, a lot of things like I working with you know, like before I mentioned, I know a lot of stuff is going on in Afghanistan. Most of American they don't know what they're doing, because now is Afghanistan suffering, you know, more than Palestinians, because they brought Taliban. Taliban is a very bad people. They destroys everything. Even the women's they thinking like there's animals.
Wait.
Women, they thinking this is only for a dating. Even
Alex.
they not respect as a woman.
Alex,
You know, they thinking like.
Alex, I hate to interrupt. I want to ask you another question. Do you think a $2 trillion annual deficit, you know, is too much debt? Do you think that America spending $7 trillion a year is too much money to spend?
In Afghanistan for the last 20 years?
No, in America. I'm saying, do you think that the United States government is borrowing and spending too much annually, daily?
Okay, I will be talking in Afghanistan. I don't know about another things, okay? Because I came from
Fuck Afghanistan. You're American now.
He's in the Matrix. I like this guy. You're in the Matrix, Alex. You have no signal.
All right, hey, can we agree he's our favorite Muslim so far this week?
Yes, 100%.
We got off to a rocky start.
Okay. No. Once. Okay. Afghanistan, my heart. When Brian hearts come together, they're gonna come strength, you know? That will be like, hey, I don't like American. Why? I'm American proud of. But I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm from Afghanistan, but I don't like Afghanistan. This is lying. No. The strong things in the body. One thing, for the last 20 years.
Hey, Alex. Oof. You want us over, but I just want to caution you that the accent is still a problem for me, and so maybe like fewer words, shorter sentences. Maybe let other people talk a little bit. Yeah.
That last submission was rough, buddy.
Okay. I want to say, for the last 20 years in Afghanistan, America plus NATO, they spent $1 trillion. But most of money, they not like for the corruptions. They're not, for example, they give you from the top to the bottoms. They give you, for example, 100 million for one small room, for one small road. They will be corrupt, first of all, American donors, in the second, Afghani donors, then come to the third is contractor, in the fourth one, there will be nothings. This is America spend money like a paper in Afghanistan. When
All right, hold on. Listen, you've reached your word quota. We're gonna have to put you on a timeout for a bit. We're gonna get some other voices in here. We'll bring you back. We'll bring you back when it's time to.
We appreciate what you're saying.
Okay. Thank you.
We're not telling you you can't participate. We want you to stay. We're just saying that there's some other people that have been waiting to speak, and we're gonna let them do that.
Okay, I gotta go. Thank you so much for that. First of all, misunderstanding. I'm not that kind of person. Yeah, all up is my heart. Only for that one, yeah, I'm Muslim. You're another religion. I respect them, because sometimes back and forth, like you thinking, oh, this guy is Muslim, maybe they hate with our with. I'm not gonna hate in the world. I love world. I believe human being.
Okay, you're done with
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, thank you, Alex. Come again.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask a question to Hekima?
If he's here?
Hekima, are you here? Can I ask you a question? It's about minimum basic income or universal basic income. I'm wondering what your thoughts might be on the topic.
You ask me or somebody else?
Someone else. Okay, look, Alex is our friend. He's our new friend. Don't bring him back up, though. He's used too many words. So he can come back tomorrow. He'll have more credit tomorrow to use. Akeem, are you there? Or are you asleep?
And when I say UBI, you could also call it reparations. And if you think that they'd be two separate federal programs, funded by two separate agencies, I mean, please let me know. If there's anybody else in the room here, like Necro, young Necro here, what do you think about a universal basic income, versus maybe reparations or combining it in a grand omnibus bill? What do you think, Dr. Necro?
Oh, I mean, I'm all for it. In fact, I actually think it would be vastly superior to the welfare state. I mean, I would replace it with the welfare state any day of the week.
What do you mean you would replace it with the welfare state? Can you give us a little more elaboration? Thank you, Dr. Necro.
I think he meant the opposite of that. He would replace the welfare state with UBI.
Yeah.
Got it. So you believe in infinite debt. You don't think that the fiat currency system has limits and that we should just continue to borrow and spend, with no regard to debt?
I mean, I think that simply we're not going to have a functioning economy in the future because of, technology replacing a lot of the work that we have. So, I mean, it would be better than, people not, being put out of work and having no money to spend.
So do you think eventually there will be clubhouse rooms with just AI chatbots chatting with each other, and there won't even be humans chatting on a social audio chat app anymore?
No, it's not work. It's just that, it's just the finding work will be, put out because of jobs in the future.
No, what I'm trying to say is that the future economy clearly is going to be people sitting in social audio chat app rooms with their fingers up their butt, thinking they're doing work, but they're actually not doing anything. And therefore, they'll have to be replaced by AI chatbots to come into rooms to chat about nothing. What do you think about that, Dr. Necro?
I mean, that kind of describes a lot of people who I would think are very rich, but in general, it's probably something a lot of people have speculated, not to demean Mojo in any way, have speculated that he gets paid to do what he does in many ways with all the time he has to be on Clubhouse.
People have speculated that Dr. Mojo gets paid to come on here to have casual conversations about economic topics, political topics, and movies for, who would pay him to come here to use a social audio chat app? What a ridiculous thing to say, Dr. Necro.
I mean, who pays like YouTube to have people like just do like mukbang videos? I mean,
Okay, but to think that Mojo here is getting paid to do this as opposed to being here because he finds it fun and interesting and worthy of his time. I mean, do you think, I mean, you can ask him, Dr. Mojo, do you get paid to run to run your Mojo? Clearly, that's a no, Necro.
I do, but I have a Jewish agent.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I believe he does have an actual job that's not just being on Clubhouse, dealing with idiots, or maybe he does deal with idiots just on Clubhouse. That's his job. But in general, I would say that like if you want to talk about what is functional, I mean, technically, whatever brings in money is what is something that.
Okay, we got it, Necro. Necro, what do you think your positions are in most contrast with Mojo's? Like, what three? Just give it three quick sentences. What do you think you and Mojo conflict the most about?
It's interesting. He asked me a question the other day whether I would choose between putting in a minimum wage into law and a maximum wage into law, and I said maximum wage because I think in general that having some of the people who own more wealth than the bottom few is diminishes other people's opportunities in many ways. But
Okay, that's one contrast. Give us a second opinion on what you and Mojo you think conflict or create the most friction about.
Well, I think it's interesting. We butted heads about about healthcare. I think though we don't disagree though in many ways. I think he might agree with me that healthcare in the United States to some extent does suck. I think we might just disagree about the solution, about how to fix it, which is where the right and the left clash. And it really is like the debate about whether healthcare is a human right.
Okay, so income and government healthcare. What's your number three, Dr. Necro?
I think it might. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess maybe what was the reason why the drug wars was initiated.
So you think that there's a different reason on why the drug wars were initiated?
Or maybe, maybe not necessarily disagreement, but essentially what was one of the motivations, because I think it was partially motivated by racism.
I knew you were going to get to racism sooner or later. I just needed to prove it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Necro, can you explain this racism angle?
Yeah, so basically, I think really just in general, the fact that the drug wars was initiated, what was it? Around
1971.
Sorry, what?
1971.
Yeah, and so basically you had, Richard Nixon, of course, his greatest opponents were hippies and also just anyone who was in the minority, not just black people, but in general, it was like black people were like the greatest in minorities, people who were poor. And so it was kind of a part of the Southern strategy was implementing colorblind racist policies. and since African Americans were in poverty, targeting the drug wars was a way in which they could get the racist vote.
Necro, do you identify all humans by their, color and appearance, or as an American, do you ever refer to people in America just as Americans?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's one of the things that I agree with Ron Paul. Like, Ron Paul's asked how he would address, Arabs for liberty, and he said, like, why would I be different? Like, it's like that's kind of the way, I think.
I can't understand what you just said about Ron Paul and this Arab Liberty Party.
My point is like I would like to move beyond race. The fact is just essentially is like people are treated differently based on their color, even if it's not intentional.
Got it. But you don't see that there's a political racial identity politic to even what you're doing right now by bringing up, race in the drug war. I mean, I agree with you that I think the fact that, my own father has arrested thousands of people for smoking cannabis, or hundreds of people. I don't know how many exactly, but, as a cop in the 80s or 70s, I can't believe that they would take a cigarette smoker and here, have all the cigarettes you want. You can buy them here everywhere. But if you're going to smoke a different leaf product, we're putting you in jail. That to me is so insane that the government even got away with it, that they can, imprison you for smoking a different type of cigarette. That to me is, there should be a Holocaust museum for cannabis smokers in this country.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, it's like, it's definitely up there with redlining, but of course, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that, in general, it's like, is it a coincidence that, gang violence, spiked up along when the drug wars was declared?
Mojo, what do you think about cannabis imprisonment and American history with regards to cannabis legalization and or prosecution of cannabis users?
I think the United States has always been retarded. We could talk about the hypocrisy in which drugs we allow to be legal, which ones we schedule to be really just the scourge of the earth. And it's comical to me, especially when you consider that the prohibition of alcohol lasted 12 and a half years, and we learned nothing. The prohibition of alcohol should have been a lesson to say, if it's something that people want to do, even if there's some negative externalities from doing it, doesn't mean that the best solution is to prohibit people from doing it. And the war on drugs is now over 50 years old, and I would argue that ending the war on drugs would be the single best thing that we could do to reduce violent crime. I'm not 100% convinced that usage would go down, but I'm more worried about the violent crime that's associated with it, because when you make something illegal and you can't go into a courtroom to adjudicate differences, you have to have your own system of justice. And this is why every street corner in Baltimore or Chicago where dope is sold is a potential war zone. If you're selling dope on the wrong corner, there's going to be somebody to tell you that that's a no-no. And I not to mention how it gives birth to the cartels. Street gangs and cartels are direct creation of the prohibition of drugs in this country.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, it's like, I mean, the law of supply and demand still applies, I mean, to, drugs. And so, I mean, people will, do it through the black market pretty much, if they want want to do it. So I mean, that's the way it was. With prohibition.
But Necro.
My solution to the drug wars is legalize but tax drugs.
Listen, I mean, with the
But look what happened to the cannabis industry in California. They overtaxed that, and now they brought the black market back.
Well,
and human trafficking to support the growing labor.
Don't you think though that all these other narcotics outside of just cannabis and alcohol are extras, and if you're going to recreationally utilize these powders or other substances, and you see the disastrous effect of these people on the street just hunched over zombie states, like that kind of shit is not cool. I mean, I got a person living on my street corner right now, and I'm thinking like, how long is that person going to be there? And how can I even help that person? It's very difficult to help homeless people. I don't know if anybody here has ever actually gone to the effort to help some random homeless person on the street, but it's not easy, and it's a little bit like coming to a clown house room with somebody who is easily agitated, extremely emotional. It's anyways, my point is, cannabis dispensaries, in my opinion, are great advancements in our American liberty, but a lot of these other drugs are not useful as chemical additives to the human body. And I think if you just, like Mojo said, it is correct about the street cartels, and it is because of prohibition. But I don't know how you create dispensaries or pharmacies that allow people to access that type of drug for absolutely no reason other than to be hunched over in a street, in filth. Like, I don't know how you control it all.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, it's like, the drug wars. I mean, Mojo mentioned violence. It's like, to me, the main reason I think the drug war is bad, because it's like, it has only increased crime in states, and it's only been shown that when you legalize things like marijuana, crime surprisingly also drops in those states.
Hey, Roger, you there?
Somewhat.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, do you know Drew or no? I was going to mention, if you don't know Drew has 21 rooms of wrestling, so you might have a common interest. I don't know if you don't know him or not.
Drew, who's your favorite wrestler?
My favorite, Cody Rhodes.
That's your favorite current wrestler?
I mean, for right now, but I know, God bless Hulk Hogan. I know he was one of my favorite legend wrestlers from the 80s.
I met Hulk Hogan at a trade show called, it was a Martech thing, but it was like for the direct mailing response advertising industry, and he had this hosting company that they put his name to. It was called Hostomania, or Hulka Hostomania. Anyways, I took guitar lessons with a guy that he was in a band with, and when I told him that I took lessons from this guy, he immediately wanted to, get my number and get my former guitar instructor's number so he
was
could.
Was that in Tampa?
The trade show? It could have been in San Francisco.
No, I'm saying the band.
Oh, probably, but my guitar instructor was here in Chicago, but he told me that he played in a band with Hulk Hogan, aka Terry Bollea. So, anyways, I'm just saying Hulk Hogan was, really, really kind and nice. And
so, Roger, I was gonna ask, maybe you could find out if Drew's a serious fan. What would a question that only a true fan of wrestling would be? What would be the perfect question?
Name the top 3 best wrestlers. Yeah, and they should be pretty easy. It should be pretty easy.
No, hold on. That's opinionated. You asked
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, hold on. If you really want to answer this question, if you want to ask a question that's going to get to the heart of whether somebody loves wrestling or not, is you don't ask about who their favorite wrestler is. You ask for
the favorite match of their favorite wrestler. So if you were to, it's easy for somebody to say that they like Cody Rhodes, but if you ask them what's your favorite Cody Rhodes match, this will reveal a lot.
But look though, I'm not saying your favorite. I said the best.
Question wasn't for you.
I said the best, right? So I'm going off the total amount of wins.
Hulk
right?
Hogan versus Rock Johnson.
And I feel like if you don't know,
Tony, put the old English down, put the new part down. It'll be your turn.
Oh, English, nigga, I don't drink. Fuck liquor.
Okay, all right. True. So what's your favorite Cody Rhodes match?
My favorite.
Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul.
I love the one when he became the Universal Champion. That was my favorite one ever of that WrestleMania.
So my favorite Cody Rhodes match was when, before AEW started, him, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, they put on a show, an independent show, sold out 10,000 tickets almost overnight, and the match that he had was he had just left WWE after the Stardust debacle, and he was wrestling for the NWA heavyweight title, which the NWA is now owned by Billy Corgan, the lead singer from the Smashing Pumpkins, and he wrestled Nick Aldis for the title, and he won the NWA title from Nick Aldis. That was my favorite.
Mojo, you sound like you slept with Vince McMahon.
You sound like you sleep.
And you slept with that old skeezer.
Yeah. Wow. Did we find out who's sexier? What's going on?
This must be Hakeem's friend.
Nah, since you assume I was drinking, I assume your dad molested you. Yeah.
I'm not Muslim.
Roger, who's blacker, you or Tony?
Yeah. Hey, listen, Mojo, you better watch it, nigga. I'm a fucking bomb in room, nigga.
You're gonna do what? You're gonna do what?
You heard what I said, nigga. I'm a bomb in this bitch.
You're a bum in this bitch?
I'm a bomb, nigga, ready to detonate. Fuck wrong with you?
Listen, cuz, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but...
Nah,